So this is right style 12 valve, and just a little bit about my 12 valve. Right now I'm sliding my fuel plate back because my AGTs were just a little too hot for me. But there's a couple bolts for the intake horn, 2 long ones, 3 shorter ones, and then 1 for the dipstick tube. You can get away without taking the intake horn off, but I did it. I'm not in a rush, so it's a little brass fitting that goes on the back of your AFC. And then there's 4 bolts that hold it down, as you can see. One's going to be a tamper-proof screw, and it looks similar to this one here in the corner. You got to chisel it out, just make it for a screwdriver to fit in there and turn it. There's a tamper-proof screw that comes on here for your pre-boost fuel screw. You'll have to take it off to tap it out, but I have that turned back 4 turns. Loosen this nut up, and there's a little Allen key, and just thread it back. If you take this cover off your AFC, there'll be a little diaphragm inside there, a little rubber deal. You can flip it around, but I haven't done that. Then you have your star wheel inside there. I have it clicked up quite a bit, but be careful with this, don't drop it. Definitely very important that you do not break that. And then this is my number 0 fuel plate screw, or fuel plate, not fuel plate screw, but it's held on by 2 little nuts. All these have washers, and you definitely don't want to drop that down inside there. That would be bad. But on your normal fuel plate, your factory fuel plate, there'll be a little step up and a nipple on there. If you just grind that all the way down, kind of flush with this, that'll be a number 0 fuel plate screw. And then you can slide it back and forth to add more fuel and stuff like that. But today I'm gonna slide this back because I had it slid all the way forward. My EGT's, like I said, a little hotter than what I wanted, but definitely make sure you clean everything off. It'll be all oily and black and stuff. Definitely make sure you clean inside there pretty good, and the fuel plate and around that. And while you're at it, look at your gaskets. As you can see on my intake horn, my gasket's ripped there at the corner. I'm gonna have to replace that. But yeah, tools you're gonna need for the job: you're gonna need a 10mm for all the bolts, 11mm for your intake horn, and flathead screwdriver, possibly a chisel and a hammer if you haven't done that. So that's a little bit about the fuel plate. I definitely noticed a difference on it. I mean, you're wanting to get more fuel, a little bit more horsepower. Definitely a couple little things you can do to your AFC to get quite a bit of power. And if you're having a problem with some death wobble or some shaking, I definitely recommend this bar that goes across here, steering stabilizer bar. It definitely makes a big difference. You don't get no death shakes from bumps or anything like that. And also another good purchase, cold air intake. And hang on, let me grab my phone real quick. Another good thing that's pretty cheap is down in there, that little black deal, that's a AFE wastegate, and you can get up to 60 pounds of boost on your stock turbine housing. I have it tuned to about 32 pounds. I feel like that's a safe number. Yeah, it's a little bit about my 12 valve. It also has Hunter over injectors, some tires and wheels. Not a whole lot done to it. Tampering with a couple little things. I mean, pretty cheap to build and pretty easy to modify for the most part. Have any questions about the build, just make sure to comment down below. Let you know what I think. if you're not mechanically inclined, I definitely wouldn't recommend doing this yourself. Definitely don't want to drop nothing down in there, and it definitely will cause damage over time to your motor. If you crank that AFE all the way up to 60 pounds, I mean, you're definitely going to have head problems if you don't have the upgraded springs and rods and all that good stuff inside there. ARP head studs. When you start tampering with stuff, you're going to have problems along the line. So, but it's my 97 12 valve. Had about 3 months just kind of tinkering around with it and just seeing what all it can do. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching Rice Talk 12 Valve.